Hello, math fans. It is Friday, April 3rd, and we will be working on this lesson 11 problem set. And great thing, it is the last day before spring break, so no official work next week, but if you want to work hard on IXL, please do so. Okay, so let's do some example problems to get started. These problems are directly from your problem set. So I will be doing problem A from question 1 and then question 2 down here. And we will be using multiplication using specifically the partial product method. So this means essentially we are just breaking up our big, huge number to make it easier to multiply. So we will be breaking up this 425, making it easier to multiply. So first things first, let's put it in this tape diagram-esque rectangle. So I'm going to put my 4 on the side because I'm multiplying 4 by every number in the 425. And I will put my 400 in the biggest rectangle, my 20 in the second biggest rectangle, and my 5 in the smallest rectangle. I got this 420 and 5 because I simply just broke up this 425. And if you need some review on breaking up numbers, first thing you do is put the number in the place values chart. So 4 is in the hundreds, 2 is in the tens, and 1 is in the 5. And I would break up this number by looking at the number in the place values chart and then adding a 0 to every place value that is to the right of it. So this 4, I would put a 0, 0 because I have 2 place values after the 4. This 20, or this 2 in the tens, I have 1 place value. And then in the ones, this 5, I don't have any place values after it, so I do not have to add any zeros. And that is how I decomposed the number into 400 plus 20 plus 5. And let's also write this down here. So I know that I'm going to multiply all of these numbers. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 400, 4 times 20, and then 4 times 5. And let's simply write our product, our answer in multiplication, in these boxes. So let's start over here first. 5 times 4. Let's count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. I know that 5 times 4 is 20. Now I'll move on to this 20 times 4. 20 times 4. I don't think I could do that in my head, but I could definitely do 2 times 4 in my head, right? What's 2 times 4? Well, 2 times 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 times 4 is 8. And now I just simply need to add back my 0. So I know 20 times 4 is 80. And then moving on, 400 times 4. And let's do that same method. Let's do, so I have 400 times 4. Okay, 400 times 4. Can't do that in my head, but I could do 4 times 4 in my head. 4 times 4, what's 4, 8, 12, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. Listed my multiples. I know that 4 times 4 is 16, and then I'm going to add those 2 zeros. So 400 times 4 is 1,600. And then what's my last step after all of that? I need to add. So I'm going to simply add all of these products together. So I'm going to add 1,600 plus 80 plus 20, and that comes out to be 0 plus 0, 0, 0. 8 plus 2 is 10. 6 plus 1 is 7. And I'm going to bring down my 1. And my answer ends up being 1,700. Okay, let's do another example. So this is a word problem, and once again, we will be using multiplication and the partial product method. So Kayla's school has 258 students. Janet's school has 3 times, so that tells us we're going to multiply 3 times as many students as Kayla's. How many students are in Janet's school? So let's multiply 258 times 3. Let's break up this 258. Let's put it in that place values chart. 1, tens, hundreds. Then 2, 5, 8. I'm going to decompose this number. So 2 is in the hundreds place. How many place values are after the 2? Well, 2. So I'm going to add 2 zeros after the 2. Moving on to this 5, or it's 50, because it's in the tens place. How many place values are after the 5? Well, just 1. So I'm going to add that 0. And then I have this 8. How many place values are after the 8? Well, none. So no zeros I need to add. So now I have 200 and 50 and 8. And I'm going to multiply all of that by 3. Times 3. And then 8 times 3. Okay, and let's multiply. 8 times 3. Please list your multiples. So you could list your multiples of 8. So I have 8, 16, 24. So 8 times 3 is 24. 50 times 3. Kind of hard to do that in my head, but I can do 5 times 3. 5 times 3, 5, 10, 15. And then I'm going to drop my 0 because I cannot forget about my 0. 200 times 3. I'm going to do 2 times 3, which is 6. And then I have 2 zeros to add. So I have 600. So let's add all of these numbers together. So I'm going to add 600 plus 150, or 150, plus 24. Do you see? I was very good about lining up my numbers so I do not get confused. 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then 6 plus 1 is 7. So Kayla, or Janet's school, has 774 students. I'm going to circle my answer. And then that, you guys should be all good to go using the partial products method in this lesson 11 problem set. And for today, you also should be doing this D16 on IXL for 15 minutes. Okay? Have a great spring break, and I will hopefully see you sometime next, or the week after that, in some office hours with me, Miss Kania, or Miss Libby.